Hi guys, my name is Farhan Karim. Farhan Karim is actually my pen name, which I have given it to myself about 7 years ago. And today I'm gonna talk about my blog. My blog is actually on WordPress and it's called Life of Poets. So what I want to do is just share a quick passage that I have written a few months back and kind of explain what and why I wrote it. Sometimes I just feel like, you know, when I'm talking to a person, there's something going into my mind which I would rather not say to the person because I'm being polite or unsure of how that person might take whatever I tell them if I care for them. So I felt like all of that thought process was kind of stuck in my head. So I had to look for an outlet to write it down, obviously not telling anyone's names or their stories behind, but at the end of the night I would just write a journal and basically just get that out of my system, because otherwise it's just sitting there in my brain, right? Because I haven't been able to talk to the person directly. I just blocked it myself because I'd rather not, right? Because that's part of being polite. Okay, part 2. After you guys have found my blog online, or if you don't know, then you can ask me. I can provide you with the link and feel free to read it. And if something relates to you, feel free to comment or share it with me if you know me personally. But here's a passage that if you go to WordPress, this poem is called "Life of Two Seats but Different Fates." So let me just briefly share that with you as slow as I can. So I'll read the title again. It's called "Life of Two Seats but Different Fates." If I were to come to a breakdown, I would stand forgiving. If life were to come to a breakdown, I would stand forgiving. Meaning that if something bad was to happen tomorrow, I would stand welcoming because it's something that's meant to happen and it's happening to me because it was written in my destiny, perhaps. So, or you can look at it as a way like if you're to go outside and somebody's in a bad mood and he just randomly yells at you for or starts bitching or something inappropriate that you weren't expecting, that takes your wavelength of positive energy into something from a negative wavelength. So basically this is what they're referring to, that if life were to break down, if something negative was to happen to me, I would stand forgiving, meaning I would welcome it and forgive it, right? I would move on. For a guy to rely then never ask for nothing. If you're looking for someone who can always be there, reliable, who's honest, who's loyal, that's all your friends, right? But I mean, you can't take it for granted, because don't ever even ask your friend for anything because they have their own lives, right? And you have your own. So that's just how I think. But I mean, if you need it, if you're desperate for something, then you're better off than opening up to your friend than to go to a complete stranger. Go to pits of hell, fix your flaws, and come tell, as if you never knew the dues shall be paid so soon. So this is a big word, right? Like hell. It's a big word because it's the whole idea of biblical Islamic and Judas plotting of what the world has to offer and where we have to end up after this life. So what I'm saying, that if let's say if there's a God and he doesn't like me, he doesn't like how I conducted myself in this world, he could send me to hell, right? But then what I'm saying is that even if you find yourself in the worst of circumstances, you can find a way to work your way up. So I'm not too scholarly to comment on it, but the way I interpret it is that if I were to go to a bad place after I die, then there probably should be some work around me that I could fix up and move up, just like we do in life. If you don't have a job, you can't pay the bills. So you can work at McDonald's, you can work at In-Dub. You can do something to provide for your family, right? You can always move up. You can go to school, get a better education, get a professional job, you can start a business, you can... Sky's the limit, right? Anyways, this is going longer than I expected, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And if you got any thoughts or comments, and if I'm approaching you at a wavelength which you can care to listen for, then leave me a comment or share button, or look forward to more of these videos where I'm going to be sharing and explaining what I've written over the past 7 years. Okay, have a good one. See ya.